Welcome to Esther's Universe. It's a magical place full of courage, creativity, and joy. It's where anything is possible as science and woo-woo come together to teach you how to step into your power and raise your vibration so together we can heal the collective and make a positive impact on the world. If you love the pod, please share it and enjoy. Hello, welcome to the pod. I'm actually not back from my season break yet, but the universe has told me that I need to give you this information like ASAP because so many of us are going through such a big upgrade at the moment, and this is going to help you understand what's actually happening when you're raising your frequency so that you can be very intentional about everything that you're doing to get yourself very close to your soul's purpose and in alignment. I've been doing this my whole journey, my whole self-development journey, but as we know, we learn more when we grow, right? And we become aware of so much more as we raise our frequency, as we go along our path, as we're collaborating with the universe and we're doing our self-development, we're doing our spiritual growth. It's all just happening as a result of your desire to become a better person or to become further connected in with yourself. So this is one of those times where I'm at this point now where I have this very clear vision of what's actually happening, and I can deliver it to you in a way where I feel you'll be able to visualize or sense what I'm talking about in a way that it resonates in your body. And when something resonates in your body, it's very deeply impactful because you're on that frequency to receive that thing. Also, before I go on, because I'll forget to tell you later, I just recorded a meditation track. I'm going to put it up on my bio in my Stan store. It's a meditation that is designed to essentially get you to quantum jump into the energy of your highest self, of your aligned self, of your soul's purpose, and entangle, like through quantum entanglement with that energy, and bring it into your current reality in like a mind, body, soul way where you can feel it physically and you can see it or you can sense it in this way where it kind of drives this deep knowing that it's actually happening. And it's designed to help you kind of remove the blocks of self-doubt and feeling unworthy and step into who you know you are, who you know you're meant to be. And the entire time I was recording it, I was in the highest frequency that I've ever been in this beautiful coherence, this resonant sort of harmony between my heart and my mind. And I was bringing this energy from the universe down and transmuting it into this meditation in a way where you will feel it when you're listening to it. It'll help you raise into this sort of surrender state really easily, and it will help you get into this place of your ability to do what I was just doing in the meditation, where you can create reality based on what your heart truly desires and what your heart truly wants. And if you're like, I don't really know exactly what my heart wants, that's okay. This will help you find it. And if you do know exactly what your heart wants, fantastic. Doing this meditation as much as you can will help you wire it into your subconscious on a mind, body, soul way where you feel it in your body and you see it in your mind and you know it's happening. And when something is obviously in your subconscious as a belief, it's obviously going to eventually manifest into your life. And because, like I always say, life is a creative process. Like, we're all creative beings, whether you're artistic or not. So we start to see this manifestation happening in little ways as it trickles in, So if you're manifesting something and it doesn't all happen like the next day, we don't want to block that with, I didn't do it right or I'm not worthy of it. We want to look for the tiny little signals and signs from the universe that it's happening, because then we are keeping the door open to allow it to come in, to allow it to reveal itself to us. We're closing the gap between who we think we are right now and who we know we are on a deep soul level. So I'm very, very happy with this meditation. I'm very excited for you to hear it. And if you love it, please let me know. If you want it, go to either my Instagram or my TikTok. It's Esther's_universe. And in my bio, there's a link. You click on that and then I'll have it just linked there, and it'll be something that you can just purchase once, download it, and have it saved on your phone, and you can just listen to it whenever you like. Okay, so what's actually happening when we're raising our frequency, raising our vibration? is we are basically, let's just say you've had one of those epiphany moments where you're like, all of a sudden like, oh my God, what have I been doing? It's like you kind of just wake up and you're like, huh? Like, why have I been living like this? Like, well, I'm sick of it. Like, no, this isn't right. And then you're taking the steps to get into alignment, and you're starting to follow what feels really good for you, and you're having, all this sort of inspiration to read certain books, listen to certain podcasts. There's people who have been put on your path that you're really inspired by. You're listening to them and you're learning from them, and they're saying things that you already know deep, deep, deep down inside. And it's just sort of reawakening this feeling in you of like, I know that, I know that, I know that. And you're being like open to the fact that you know that deep down, but it's hitting you from a different level now. It's hitting you at a different frequency now. It's hitting you at a different place in your awareness. And so you're receiving this help it's essentially help from the universe through people, through creativity, through your appreciation of nature around you and the abundance all around you, all kinds of things. You're gaining this ability to look at the things like the setbacks or the struggles in your life as this beautiful lesson. You're seeing like everything that you've learned from it, and you're realizing that there's actually things to be so grateful for in all of the hard things that you've been through, because it's built you into this person you are today. And you have, through all of these hard experiences, you now have the ability to relate with so much of the population. And when you have this gratitude for everything you've been through, you sort of realize as well that you're meant to be passing this on. You're like, I need to give this information to someone else. I need to help people out there feel like they're not alone, so they know that they can actually get through it. Or maybe it's just whatever it is that you love, that you want to express out and just have that feeling of like, I have to share that. That's come from your own experiences and what you've learned from it and what you've gained from it, even if it's something beautiful and amazing. Like when I paint, I'm like, I just wish I could make everyone paint. Not that I know that not everyone wants to, but like so that they can feel the feeling. So I just find all kinds of different ways to express that, whether it's showing people through creativity or my podcast or whatever, how beautiful it is to learn to be in the process of something and to find yourself in that process. So anyway, you're going along this path, you're doing all this development, blah, blah, blah. You have this incredible moment of epiphany, and you realize so much more about yourself. You suddenly become more wise than you were before. You feel it on a deep body level as well. Like you feel a bit emotional about it, and you're just like, holy fuck, you feel excited, you feel energized, you feel like, whoa, those feelings. So like that is all sort of the cocktail of what it feels like to have risen your frequency. So you've raised your vibration, and basically think of energy as consciousness, right? And it is, like energy has consciousness, energy is consciousness. And so this consciousness exists at all these different frequencies. So when you're raising your vibration, you have risen your vibration on a mind, body, soul level. So then you've moved up to this higher frequency, which means there's this new consciousness now that you haven't had before in your human form. So this new consciousness, essentially, imagine it as if it just drops into your body. You might even literally feel sensations of feeling a bit discombobulated and a bit like, whoa, what? Your senses might be a little bit like, whoa, like you kind of, like, I wasn't aware of this in the early part of my journey, but now, because I have such a deep level of self-awareness and the world around me, I notice everything on such a minute, micro level. So now when I raise my frequency, it literally feels like a new consciousness is entering my body, and then feeling a bit like, like I'll look around and be like, whoa, that bird moved really quickly. Or I'll be like talking to a friend at a cafe and just getting so distracted because there's all these sounds and people. Or I'll see someone and I'll just suddenly make eye contact with them, and then I'm like, wait, what? And there's maybe like a few days or a week where I'm just a bit like feeling literally like a new consciousness in a body, experiencing Earth in a way that I haven't experienced it yet through this exact Esther human form. You know what I mean? That's what's happening. And so anyway, this new consciousness is in your body. You're learning to, hang on. So this new consciousness comes into your body, and basically then its job is to get your mind and your body up to the same frequency that it is at, right? So your consciousness is at a higher frequency now, and then your consciousness starts digging through your energetic body and being like, hey, here's a deeper level of that thing. You might have already worked on it, you might not have. It might be brand new to your awareness, but it might be something you've worked on 7 times before, but there's a deeper level of it at this frequency that you need to bring into your awareness, right? So this consciousness, this energy is going through your energetic body. It's being like, hey, you've got this thing stored here. Puts it up into your awareness, puts that up on like basically a projector in front of your eyes. Visualize it that way if you want. And suddenly you become aware of this thing that is between where you are now and where you want to be. And you're like, oh, okay, cool, I'm going to work on that. So you start working on it. And so basically what's happening then is your consciousness, which is the universe, is collaborating with your mind to now get your body up to standard with where they are both at. So your consciousness comes in, brings the awareness of the thing up into your mind. Your mind goes, oh my God, yes, I need to work on that. And then your mind is like, okay, consciousness, yep, I get it. I'm going to work with you and I'm going to get my body to feel it, to believe it, to understand it, to release the thing, whatever it is. So then you start to become aware of how your body feels in different situations. If you're like, okay, I'm struggling with self-worth and I don't think that I'm really worthy of all the beautiful things I actually want, that I can feel my heart desires. And you're like, all right, well, when I think about what I want and what my heart desires, how does my body feel? Maybe a bit of anxiety comes up. Maybe you get an ache in a hip. Maybe you realize that there's this thing that it's been aching in your body for like a year and you just haven't had it looked at yet because you've just been too busy. Who knows, right? Or maybe it's just a feeling. Maybe it's a feeling of like fluttering, like I want it, but I'm not sure. Like maybe it's like whatever it is, it can be literally a physical representation of like some kind of ailment or excitement. Or it can just be like a feeling that you feel on a deeper level in your emotional body. And you need to sort of communicate with this. You got to take these signals and these cues from your body and be like, okay, well, if it's feeling a bit anxious, what would help my body feel better about this? Going into a state of surrender, maybe doing a meditation where I'm visualizing it. My body knows it's safe. My body's like, it's okay, you're just visualizing it. It's really beautiful. And your body's like, yeah, this feels really nice. And then your body starts to harmonize with it. And then you feel this new reality in your body and you're like, wow, I love it. It feels so beautiful here. And there's so much gratitude and so much abundance and my heart could explode. And you're like, wow. And then you go back into your everyday reality and you try your best to bring that feeling of your body, into your subconscious to be like, hey, body, brain, physical version of me, it's all good. Like, this is what we're moving towards now. This is what we want. Maybe you'll have something come up in your mind of like, I need to book Reiki. Maybe you're like, oh, I really need acupuncture. Maybe you're just like, I really need a massage. And your intention behind those things is to get your body to harmonize with your soul and your mind. Or maybe just in meditations, you're harmonizing, you're visualizing your body's frequency, harmonizing with the frequency of your mind and your soul and the universe and all of that. So basically, once your body believes what your consciousness at this higher level is trying to tell you, then you are in alignment on a mind, body, soul level, and you're ready to raise up to the next frequency. This can take however long it needs to take. Some people will spend an entire lifetime raising a frequency. Some people will raise their frequency once a year. Some people will do it really quickly. Some people, it's literally up to the person and up to, I guess, just their path. Like, you can't rush this stuff, but you'll know it when it's happening. And like, I feel like if you're already someone who's like very solid on your self-development path and you're already someone who's quite into energy and frequency and you understand what I'm talking about, I hope that this just helps like paint that bit more of a clear picture so that you can find this, I guess like when you're in your next journey or even within the journey you're in now, you can be like, okay, what part of this journey do I think I'm in? Like, am I in the place right now where my consciousness is just bringing all this stuff up to my mind? Am I in the place right now where I'm like actively trying to get my body on board with it? Or should I get my body on board with it? Like maybe you didn't consider the body part of the portion. I know I didn't. Like I was doing it just intuitively, but I wasn't doing it consciously because I wasn't yet at a frequency where I could just access this information, you know what I mean? And now I'm at this frequency and all of just how everything works just keeps pouring into my awareness. And I'm like, oh my God, I got to share this with everyone. And, you know, this came through for me a week or two ago, maybe a week ago. And I've just been observing it in myself, following it like its own little guidebook of like, okay, great. I need to bring my body up to standard here. I need to bring my body up to standard here. When I say up to standard, I just mean like up to the same frequency to resonate in harmony with my mind and my soul. And as I do that, I literally notice the things that I'm manifesting start to show up in my life more and more and more and faster and clearer and clearer. Like, it is fucking insane. And because like I recently arrived at a new frequency, I was like, oh my God, I'm in this frequency of authenticity. And this is like a tip of an iceberg thing. Like, I'm not just at the top of the fucking whatever, I don't know how you visualize all this stuff, but there's still so many more different frequencies I can explore, right? But I'm at this place now where I know who I am, I know what I'm capable of, I know what I deserve. And so there's just these tiny last little bits where I'm getting my body to feel safe with all of it and to harmonize with all of it. And the more I get my body to harmonize with this new frequency, the more everything, all of this abundance just keeps revealing itself. Like, my podcast has never had more listens in my entire life than this last 2 weeks. It is wild. And it's because I've been able to get very clear in a mind, body, soul way on how I want to impact people, how I want them to feel. So I've been setting intentions of creating content and creating art and sending out messages to kind of just connect with people on such a heart level, on a way where they have this epiphany moment, this deep sense of like, oh, I get it, like, or yes, I needed to hear that, or they're triggered into some kind of way of thinking in this way where their body is just like, yes. And in these, when I was manifesting this in these meditations and everything, I was feeling it in my body, how I want them to feel. And I swear to God, it started showing up immediately. I'd get DMs from people that same day, later on, being like, oh my God, I saw your art and saw this thing, and it just brought me to tears. I started having my TikTok just start blowing up. My videos went from like really low, not really low, but like low views. But like the thing is, it doesn't matter what views and everything you're getting, because everyone was still finding me. All the people who were aligned with me were still finding me. I was still experiencing incredible abundance, even if I was getting low views at the time. But I worked on my energy and my very clear intention of what I wanted to send out. And I also worked on bravely bringing myself into my heart space more and just being in my most authentic self as much as I possibly can. And then all of a sudden, now my videos are just getting like thousands of views, tens of thousands of views. My podcast is being shown to 500,000 people at the moment. It is crazy. My digital downloads are selling. Everything is happening as I see it happening. And also just, I don't know, it's like trickling in so quickly. And it's because I'm removing any doubt between me and this internal knowing of who I am. And this doubt lives in my body, because my body has gone a lifetime so far being largely ignored, being put at the end of the list of priorities. My nervous system was shot for so long. I was burnt out. I was moving too quickly just because I thought I had to. I always thought that I had to be doing something and being overproductive and all of that. And now, after being on this journey of slowing down and changing my entire life, rewiring my brain, all of this over the last year and a half, I have never seen faster growth, more abundance. Do you know what I mean? Like, I slowed down, did less, and I'm creating my reality from within, and then I'm just taking inspired, aligned action. And I know what action to take because I allow myself the space and the patience and the love to just be a potato when I want to and to be still. And if I don't want to be still, I'll just paint or I'll do something. I'll go for a walk, whatever. But I'm not flooding myself with this constant input of other people's creativity, it is beautiful to experience other people's creativity. But when we're in a world so full of, just everything coming at you from everywhere all at once, it's so important to create time for just your own inspiration to come through and to create these realities from within. So it just starts happening so quickly. It's really, really, really wild. But anyway, so basically I'm going to start kind of teaching this to people as much as I can, because I know that there are people out there who are listening to this that are very close to my frequency and are at a place where, if you're hearing this and you're understanding what I'm saying, or even if you're like, I don't fully get it yet, but my heart is happy hearing this, then you're ready for this information, right? Like, you're at a frequency where this is actually useful information for you. So I'm going to start. I don't know how yet. It's just an intention that I'm setting, because I feel like I really need to follow this. It's in my heart to share with people. It's almost like expanding on all the Dispenza stuff. It's like what Joe Dispenza has put out there for us all about energy and understanding the brain, understanding your subconscious, and understanding the, coherence between the heart and the brain and everything, and getting yourself to feel the thing before it's actually in your physical reality, because that's what brings it into your reality. It's like expanding on all of that in a way that everyone who is so deeply aligned with me will be able to understand in a really beautiful way. So I'm very excited for that. So just remember that when you're raising your frequency, the process that gets you from one frequency to another is your consciousness is running around inside your being, bringing things up to your awareness for you to look at and work on. And this can come in any sort of form. It could be a trigger from a conversation with someone. Maybe you're talking to someone and you're just like, oh God, the thing they're saying is so fucking annoying. Or like, oh, and your ego is like really playing up about it. Like, that is a good sign to be like, why does this make me feel this way? Maybe it's not them, maybe it's me. Maybe it is them, but why do you feel so like enraged or annoyed or whatever, like, instead of just being, understanding and neutral about it? Like, what is it that, so just look at these things. It could be a trigger. It could be just awareness that's dropped into you and you're like, oh my God, all of a sudden you like realize something about yourself and you're like, whoa. And you have to like, pay attention to that and be like, oh my God, thanks consciousness for bringing that into my awareness. That's amazing. So then your mind is like, great, I'm on board. I get it. We're working through this. We're in a lesson of this right now. We're in a lesson of ego right now. We're in a lesson of self-worth right now. We're in a lesson of slowing down right now. Like, whatever it is, whatever the lesson is, you're in collaboration now with the universe, essentially. So you're collaborating with your new consciousness, your new frequency, your new level of awareness, and it's the universe. That's what I'm talking about as well in my previous app with you are the universe. Like, this is, you're at that new frequency now, you're at that new level of awareness, that new consciousness at that frequency. It's in your body now. It's bringing all this stuff up to your awareness. Your mind is now aware of it. You're in collaboration with the universe, with that consciousness, and you're getting your body up to speed. You're asking your body what it needs. You're feeling your body. You're setting the intention to understand your physical, emotional feelings. You're setting the intention to do whatever it is your body thinks it needs. Maybe it needs some gentle movement. Maybe you don't work out and you just want to start doing morning walks every day. Maybe you work out all the time religiously and you just slow down and dial it back. Maybe you have been doing weights forever and you've been such a gym girly, but now you want to be in Pilates and yoga and you just want to slow it down. Like, whatever it is that you want, you don't have to do this one thing forever. Like, you've got to get used to listening to your body and just letting yourself go into whatever era you're feeling at the time, for however long you're feeling it, and then just follow it on to the next thing. Because by doing this, you're letting your body build this sense of trust and communication. You're building a relationship with your body. And when you can build a relationship with your body will start sending better signals through your vagus nerve up into your brain and stop tricking you into thinking that it's unsafe to go towards your dreams. So like, basically the only reason why you don't have everything you've ever wanted in your life is not because of where you were born into and the family you were born into, your life, your circumstances. Like, you can overcome these things and you can move past or around these things. You can learn from these things. You can take this story and put it in your tool belt and use it for something great. And it's just this, preconditioned belief from society that we just are who we are and we have to kind of do this one thing forever and stay there. And it's also this inner doubt that we're even worthy of it, especially if you're a woman. We've got 3,000 years of the patriarchy telling us we're not even worth anything. So women especially need to work on the self-doubt and bring in so much self-worth. Like, honestly, if I could give you one bit of advice, it's to focus your attention in on your self-worth. Ask yourself, all kinds of things in any given moment. Like, how do I feel about myself right now? Or if you're out at a bar and you're judging yourself against all the other beautiful girls out there and you think that they've all just got it together and you don't, look at that flag and journal about it. Get it out of your head and into something physical like a journal, or you can talk it out to a friend. Like, once you pull these ridiculous notions out of just swirling around in your mind and you bring it into the physical realm, you're suddenly gaining control over it. It doesn't control you anymore. You're taking the power away. You're shining the light on the shadow, because these are all shadow things. This is like why shadow work is so important, because you're starting to become aware of all the parts of yourself that have been tripping you up and blocking you from moving forward in life. And the other thing is, like, if you're in a place where you've had a lot of really hard struggles and you've come from a line of hard struggles, like, the harder the struggles, the more impactful your presence on the other side, if that makes sense. So it's not to say that, like, someone who's had a super cruisy, easy life is less impactful as a person. But if you can imagine having to take the short road somewhere or the super long winding road somewhere, if you're on this super long winding road having to overcome generational shit, you're overcoming like stuff that's been put on you from society, you're overcoming things that you never thought you would ever see yourself out of, but you're getting through them and you're working your way around them, being guided by the universe, doing this whole mind, body, soul collaboration thing, you're going to have such a deep sense of awareness and such a strong connection to yourself and such a clear fucking vision of where you are going that you are going to be one of the most impactful people on the planet just by existing. Your energy, anyone who comes into contact with you, whether it's through something you have created and put it out into the world, or a video you've put on the internet, or they've met you on the street, people can feel the energy in you subconsciously, and it awakens something in them. Because if you've had to take the long road somewhere, you have this authenticity, this magnetism, this knowing that you can do anything as if it is the surest thing that you have ever fucking known. And it's unshakable self-worth. And when you have unshakable self-worth, you know you can do anything. You are limitless. You are unstoppable. You're in the frequency of expansion. Money comes your way. Opportunities come your way. People are magnetized in towards you. And you are just living in this like beautiful aligned reality. And now if you've had a super easy life and you don't have such a winding path, like you can still get to that place. You just need to recognize that you might not be triggered into things as much through other people. So you need to start exploring your inner world as much as possible, or explore kind of feelings that you have from your inner child state. Like maybe there was a feeling of disconnect with your family. Maybe you don't know how to receive love properly. Maybe you've never felt like you can be truly yourself or truly honest. Maybe like we still have the same lessons to work through. That's the thing. Like we all have to work through different versions of lessons, but we're all going to learn the same things. We all have the same access to the universe as each other. And it's just like the clearer you become as a person, the clearer that channel becomes with this information from the universe. So the information's putting stuff out there for everyone, being like, hey, this needs to be expressed now into the earthly realm. And everyone who's clear enough to receive it is going, ooh, what a great bit of inspiration I just had. Like, oh my God, I really want to do this thing. Or like, here's a bit of an idea. Or if you're already super aware and spiritually connected and you know that that's actually the universe talking to you, being like, here's a fucking download. And you're like, I had the best download ever. I have to put it out into the world. It has to be expressed in this time. And it doesn't mean you have to express it like that minute. You can embody it for a bit and figure it all out, but then definitely express it if you want to, if you feel called, if you feel inspired, that kind of thing. So we've all got different journeys, we've all got different paths. None of it makes anyone any better than anyone else, doesn't make you more worthy, less worthy, any of that. It's just that there's going to be different ways to go about finding your version of learning all these lessons and arriving at the realization that you are 100% worthy. And the other thing is, if you've got a really easy life and a really easy life path, I would ask myself and be like, this might happen right now. Like, this might be the life that I've been given at the moment. This is what I chose because I've got really big things to do, and I've already done all that hard shit in the other lives. You know, maybe this is your easy fucking, you did it all already, and you're at this place now where you're like, I'm here to make a difference, and there's nothing in my way. There's like a bit of self-doubt, a bit of like whatever, little bit of trauma. Easy, you can work through it. You can get on the other side of that. You can get to this place of total knowing, total authenticity, total love, total expansion, and make a huge difference in the world. If you're in this beautiful, privileged position, even if you're someone who's like struggled, but you know you're still in a privileged position, you can use this to make a difference in the world. Everything that you've been through, you can pass on. You do not need to worry about whether you're worthy enough of passing it on. You don't need to wait until you're a master of the thing. You don't have to be a master to pass something on. If you want to teach masters, absolutely. Become a master first, then pass that information on. But if you want to teach someone who's just a couple of steps behind you, you have the information that is so fucking relevant to them, and you can deliver it to them in a way that will really impact them and really help them along their path. So don't doubt yourself. If you have learned something and you want to express it into the world in whatever way you want, share it. You are worthy of sharing it right now. And if you're also a bit scared of like, okay, well, you know, what if I believe something different in the future? What if I grow and I learn more? Like, I don't know enough yet. I don't want to share it because like someone could come and yell at me later down the line and be like, you were wrong. Anyone who does that, to me, like, that's a sign of low intelligence. It's not to say there'll be low intelligence forever, but they're just not at the point yet where they can fully see that we're meant to grow and evolve. We're meant to express ourselves at the current frequency that we're at, and it's going to help people along the line. Even if, let's just say this podcast, 5 years from now, I might believe and know other things. I might believe different things. I might think, stuff is... I might just have this whole other way of explaining things, a whole other way of doing things. Maybe I will think, oh yeah, like I know more now and I believe this now, whatever. Still, the existence of the podcast, I'm not going to just suddenly delete it all and take it down, because the podcast exists as like a paper trail of frequency to help whoever needs it, who is at the frequency that I was at when I made it. Do you know what I mean? So it's like when you read a book by your favorite author, they might have written the book 5 years ago, 10 years ago, whatever. And you're like, oh my God, I fucking love this book. Like, this book has helped me realize something in myself. This book's helped me get closer to what I know about who I am and all of that. And the author has probably made like 5 other books already about different things, but you're drawn to that book. And you're drawn to that book because whatever the author, whatever frequency they were at when they wrote that is the frequency that you need to be absorbing to get yourself to that frequency. So it's like good that the paper trail is there, even if these 5 books, you know, that they've currently, you know, that they've made that's closer to their current self might have different information, might have more information, might have expanded version of the information, or they might even be like, you know what, I was a bit wrong in that one, but I know this now. It doesn't mean that it's not helpful for you. It's still helping you, right? It's helping you on an energetic level, on a mind, body, soul level, get to where you need to go. So when you're putting things out into the world, yeah, it takes courage. It fucking takes a lot of courage, because you know there's going to be some dumb cunt out there who's probably like, this is wrong. Yeah. You said this once. You're saying something different now. And it's like, yeah, okay, cool. I hope so. Like, we all evolve. Like, we learn, we grow. We're not meant to be stagnant. That's not right. Like, we're not meant to just pretend like we know everything and just stay at this one level of knowledge forever. And if you change your mind about something and you know something different, you believe something different now, sweet. Share that. Share the growth. Put the ego down and share the growth, because you will just inspire others to grow. Give me a 5-star review if you fucking love this episode. If there's anything that I have said that has reawakened this knowledge that you already have inside you, that you're like, yeah, fuck yeah, that's put some life back into this part of me, like, amazing. Please let me know. Leave a little review. It helps the podcast be seen by more people. And go on my social media, and you can go into my bio and check out everything I do. Even if you don't buy my shit, that's fine. Just check out all the different things I do and take inspiration from everything that I do. I don't mind. I'm not gatekeeping anything. Sure, I put paywalls up for stuff every now and then because I still have to live this human existence and I deserve money as well. But as far as the general information I'm giving, I still give it all away for free all over my platforms. So yeah, take inspiration. Take inspiration wherever you like. Even if it's just the fact that you can do all these different things. You don't have to be one person doing one thing. You don't have to niche yourself. You don't have to box yourself. You can be niche free if you want. That's completely fucking fine. But yeah, if you want to do the meditation I was talking about at the start, that's going to be in my Stan store, which is linked in my bio as well on my social media. I love you. Thank you so much for listening. And I'm going to get back to my podcast break, and I'll return with more episodes whenever I am ready.